Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. The reply of Obasanjo, the former president, to the statement made by Edwin Clark about Niger Delta resource control and all of that has triggered more reactions from Nigeria. And this time around, a particular group in the Niger Delta have decided to call out the ex-president over some of the statements he made in the open letter he sent to Edwin Clark. We're going to be looking at that in a jiffy. But before we continue, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our video. The former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has been lambasted for his response to a letter by the Niger Delta leader Edwin Clark. In a rejoinder on Tuesday, Obasanjo declared that the oil within the region belongs to the entire people of Nigeria. On Wednesday, a South-South coalition said from paragraph 4 to 12 of his reply, Obasanjo emphasized the constitutionality of the forceful expropriation of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta Congress, NDC, chided the ex-head of state for failing to see the absurdity in centering his argument on legalities conceived by members of the larger ethnic nationality which Obasanjo belongs. A statement by the spokesman Ovonda Eni noted that in paragraph 13, Obasanjo not only admitted Niger Delta resources was eyed by both sides during the Civil War, he asked the people to be appreciative because the situation would have worsened if the Biafran side won. Eni, a lawyer, thanked the retired general for the revelation which he said aren't new to the region. It's important for the Niger Delta people to take note that its territories and people are seen as war booty won and or lost. This thinking continued to increase the relationship between the Niger Delta and the larger nationality, not neighbors, not brothers, not comrades, not friends, but war booty. In paragraph 18, the former president made it known that he has been a champion of equity and fairness in Nigeria, and in his bid to ensure this equity, he believed that it is necessary to suppress ethnic nationality or tribes, in his own words, so the state can emerge. What he failed to realize or reveal is that suppressing tribes in a state is in reality nothing more than an attempt to create a state where smaller nationalities are silent or annihilated so their lands and resources are annexed and controlled by the larger ethnic nations who also make up the state. We have seen the ruthlessness with which this suppression as a strategy has been applied, most importantly with the genocide in OD, which left over 10% of the population dead in 1999, a genocide perpetrated by Nigerian troops when President Obasanjo himself was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. President Obasanjo stated that he would continue to push for the suppression of tribes in the Nigerian state until he breathed his last. Is Obasanjo pledging allegiance to a genocidal ideology? Such audacity can only come when a man has successfully carried out a massacre. This does not only show the failure of the Nigerian state he swore by, but also shows the complexity of the international community he honored with and whose interests in the Niger Delta he has served. This also shows the failure of the Niger Delta leadership to stand by and for. In subsequent paragraph, the former president went back in time to cite colonialism and its legal construct in different ways to derive legitimacy for the injustice that had been the relationship between the Niger Delta and what is currently known as Nigeria right from as early as the colonial era. As interesting as these attempts to gaslight the Niger Delta is, what is poignant for the NDC is the subtlety in insinuating that what we currently have operable in Nigeria is an extension of colonialism, with the larger group as the new colonial masters. We choose to not be colonized by any group. Most important to the NDC are paragraph 20 and 21, wherein Obasanjo reveal moves he and some other collaborators from within and outside the Niger Delta are making to once again shortchange the people, as has been done within the Nigerian context since 1960, and which he had played an integral part of from the Civil War till date. And he said that the former leader spelled out the work being done by the Committee for Goodness of Nigeria, CNG, which he is a part, where Niger Delta representatives are proposing an 18% derivation in CNG recommendation to those who can take action ahead of a new constitution before the 2023 election. NDC condemned the insulting proposition, insisting that agitations have revolved around economic and political autonomy, resource control, contained in the different declarations and charters that we have emanated since the 1965 Rumor-Massey Declaration. The body recalled that at the South-South hearing on 1999 Constitution Review in Port Harcourt on 27 May 2021, the NDC presented recommendations to the Senate Committee led by Senator Betty Apiafi, where 50% resource control or derivation was demanded. The statement reminded the public that the NDC has been collating signatures of ethnic nationality representative for the Niger Delta People Charter, which assert the right of the region to control their resources and determine their socio-political future. Any vow that the people will resist any move to foist any constitution that does not take cognizance of the demands of the people as captured in the charter adopted on 8 October 2021 at the Niger Delta People's Conference in Yenagua, the capital of Biafra State. Wow, I mean, this is just to send signals to Obasanjo that there are still a lot of people who are, acting as a watchdog over Niger Delta and who are also deliberating over the issue of derivation percentage. Fairly recently, the percentage was, I think, less than 5% that was given to them, but they have set up a charter which they intend to roll out, for the government to know their position in respect to resource control, which I feel that as much as Nigeria is the embodiment or is the one that hover over all the 36 states, but it is needful for leaders to realize that people who are founders and origin of some resources, they should be given some level of control over it, irrespective of the fact that, they are benefiting from other things from the country. But you must show them to a greater extent that they have some high-level control and high-level benefit for hosting that particular resources. I'm telling you now, for example, we've been hearing so much about Zamfara State Gold and all of that, and some resources in other parts of the country. The question is, what have the federal government done that has made such, resources to be enjoyed by all and sundry in the country? We are not hearing anything about it. Those guys, they go in, they explore, and whatever they do with their gold, Nigeria have not really sat down to take stock of how much is coming out from there. But when it comes to that of Niger Delta, the entire country is enjoying it. The question is, why is Niger Delta being treated this way, while other people who are host communities for some natural resources are not given such treatment? They are not even talking about the issue of resource control in some other areas. I'm talking about resource control, or let me say sharing ratio for other states who do not have any connection with such natural resources. They are not even talking about it. The host state are the ones that will explore what they have to explore, come out with it. Nobody really know how much is being sent to the federal government to be shared to other states. I feel that Obasanjo, coming from this perspective, for me, there's a lot of sense in it, but also it clearly shows that he does not really take into consideration the suffering and also the side effect of this natural resources exploration in those communities. He doesn't even look at it, but look at it from the perspective of it is owned by Nigerians and everybody has fought for it. For that reason, everybody should enjoy it equally. It's absolutely wrong, you understand? But I'd like to leave it there. What's your position on this reaction by NDC? Let's interact in our comment section.